Discard Bombardment is a deck idea that we did before the rotation. Now, I've updated the deck list a bit here, just to go with the idea of all the new cards. Now, one of the issues that we have is we don't have a way to deal with graveyards like we did with the last one, because we originally used Go Blink, which allowed us to make the opponent discard their hand. We got to exile the graveyard. So if we come across a recursion deck, things could go bad. But we still have a lot of really strong card options that we're using here. So if you're not familiar with Arcane Bombardment, it's a spell, it's an enchantment that when we cast our first instant or sorcery, we get to exile a card at random from our graveyard that's an instant or sorcery and play it for free. And all other copies of cards that happen to be exiled with Bombardment. Now, this does mean that it's like if we burn down the house and deal 5 damage to everything, we can use that as a great sweep. But we can also use it to generate ourselves the 1/1 Devil tokens, and it usually leads to one of our most common win conditions with Bombardment. Now we have some Invoke Despairs, which allows us to make the opponent sacrifice 3 things. Creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. Each one they can't sacrifice, make them lose life, draw cards. Very strong, especially when paired with Bombardment. For as the early game, we have the new Cut Down card, which allows us to destroy a creature with total power and toughness 5 or less, which means we can kill any type of like 3/2 or 2/3 or anything less stat power than those. But we cannot kill anything that's like a 3/3 or greater, so it's going to be limited on what it can remove, but it's still flexible enough that it's worth running in the deck. We have some Duresses, we have some Flame Blessed Bolts, because like I was mentioning, if there's a lot of recursion, having 2 damage to exile something is going to be a little more useful than Play with Fire, so that's why we went with this. Extract the Truth allows us to look at the opponent's hand, make him discard an enchantment, planeswalker, or creature. Or we can use it to make the opponent sacrifice an enchantment. There's a lot of enchantments being run, so the make an opponent sacrifice enchantment, actually pretty relevant. 1 copy of Parasitic Grass gives us a little life gain. It manages to be able to target only humans unless we cleave the spell. But I think that's still a worthwhile thing. The Lightning Strikes, great card, allows us to deal damage anywhere. Players' faces, planeswalkers, creatures. It's going to be a great card for the deck. Our newest discard spell from the set, Aggressive Sabotage, I think is going to work out well because we can make the opponent discard 2 cards. If we hit the spell, we also can deal 3 damage to that player. So it's basically a Mind Rot that if we spend an extra red, it becomes... Oh shoot, I forgot the name of the split card. Carnage is what I think it was called. And overall, it's not bad, because even if we play off of Bombardment, all we have to do is kick this for 1 as a the free cast, and it's still great value just because we just get to bolt the player. We run some soul transfers for some creature exile, but also planeswalker exile. And we do actually have some treasures as well as an enchantment in the deck. So we have the possibility of returning a planeswalker from our graveyard back to our hand, and that would be Sorin. So we use Sorin because it gives us life-linking vampires and possible card draw. The -7, not likely ever to get to, but it is still a potential game ender where we can do 13 damage anywhere and gain 13 life. We do actually have a copy of the New Sweeper dragged to the bottom of the deck, which has Domain. So this is basically like a Languish, where it's 4 mana, give a creature -4/-4. But the real thing of how this works is each creature gets -X/-X until in turn, where X is 1 plus the number of basic land types among lands you control. But, so unlike Languish, this does require us running multiple land types. But if we only have like red-black in play, this does mean that we get a -3/-3. But we do run the Proving Grounds and Xander's Lounge. Just having one of these makes it effectively a -4/-4. If we happen to have both, it becomes a -5/-5, sweeping up almost everything in the format. I say almost everything because there are those few 6/6 and 7/7 bodies. But that's the deck idea. We'll jump into games and show you how it works. Oh, before I forget, we actually do have a side deck because I'm going to take this best of 3. So we have a couple extra Duresses for the control matchups. Flame Best Bolt against the aggro recursions. Infernal Grasp against just big creature decks. Some Meat Hook Massacres, because if we against a recursion deck, it's nice being able to sweep and get the death triggers to gain life. Rotten Reunion allows us to hate on the graveyards. Parasitic Grasp, again against the human-based aggro decks. Vampire Kisses actually work against burn decks, because it allows us to recover some life, as well as get those blood to keep us drawing what we need. And some Abrades, just in case we come across a deck that is using artifacts. Got a lot of cut downs and paragraphs. I think though I'm still going to take the mulligan. Alright, this is better. As much as we're built around Arcane Bombardment, I'm going to put it on the bottom. Now, I know I could have just done the turn 1 Duress, but I want to get our red source because if our opponent was aggro, I wanted the answer. Goodbye, Liliana. Ooh, no, I actually want to save this for the Evolved Sleeper. Alright, let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's go for another Caves, get a life, pass it to the opponent. The Caves, while they don't have the land types for the purpose of our domain spell, are still just solid because they give us that little bit of life sustain here. Trespasser is going to be something we have to deal with because we're meant to play our spells back from our graveyard. Let's play the Lounge. As much as I like to cycle just to get the... Oh, I forgot to kill it. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and scoop. Opponent wins this one. Go to game 2. So, need the Infernal Grasp for the shoulder because we don't have good answers for that. And go up 1 Duress. It's gonna be a tough match. Actually, we'll do that. I don't think Cutdown's actually gonna be as good in this matchup. Alright. Have some draw power with the Sorin, so we'll try keeping this. Only concern is we don't have the second black source yet. Well, there's the second black source. Got ourselves a big score that we can eventually play also. Better still get rid of the conscript over Jadar. Jadar is amazing value for our opponent, but I'd rather get rid of the creature that just keeps self-recurring right now. Alright, underdog for our opponent. Go land, pass. Plan on using the big score. We'll ditch the caves, so that way we can sweep up this whole board. Okay. We have plenty of lands now. Burn it down. And I will actually duress them. I'll sacrifice 1 treasure. Ah. So, Shouldred, unfortunately for our opponent. So this is gonna hurt, but what we kind of have to do to survive. Play Soren. Minus. Yep, there's Underdog. Give the block. The fact that the opponent has Takanuma does mean that they can always bring back the Shouldred. Plus, reveal, land, opponent's turn. Okay, opponent blitzes. Gonna go for our face. We'll block here. We'll take this 3. See what we get off the top before we fire the lightning strike, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A lounge. Minus. Cycle. You deal. Opponent, please discard those 2 cards. It was actually a good thing that we got them to discard those 2 cards, because double land meant that they could have played a land and double blitzed against us. Jeez, why? Why? And I can't even add that to my hand if it's on the top.
I bring my own.
Beginning of each end step, if the player discard a card, that's fine. Opponent's turn. Alright. They blitz. Try and think, what do we do here? Take the block. Construct for our opponent. And another underdog, wow. So opponent gets all the underdogs. Unfortunately, there's no, like, Shadow's Verdict anymore. Oh, why? Why? Alright, yep. They get this. And I'm going to kill myself! Ugh. That's... We drew a lot of responses for our opponent, but the thing is, we just couldn't get the right kind. I think... The issue, I think, right now is, as much as I'd like to put a card that hates on the graveyard... Like, if I went with the Exile Grave, the only, like, artifacts is unfortunately right now Lantern of the Lost, which exiles all cards from all graveyards, and we don't want to exile our own graveyard. And the other card is Unlicensed Hearse, which I think is something we might want to consider. I forgot to put in the reunions against that opponent, and I think that, because I should have probably taken the cut downs out. But they were clearly a mono-black aggro style. I thought they were more control. So cut downs actually weren't terrible in our deck. Yeah, we're gonna hit mulligan. I just don't trust the number of lands there. Alright, this seems good. We'll keep this. We'll put the bolt on the bottom. Keep the rest. Go Proving Ground. Next turn we'll check their hand with the Truth. Yep, probably should have kept Flame Blessed. I had no clue what we were playing against. Well, we get rid of the Cruelty of Gix. Hey there, Elsewhere Angel. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Let's play the Cliffs, gain a life. I'm doing okay, just getting some unfortunate RNG with some of our decks. We, tried playing Naya Humans and we could never draw the lands right. Like, we ended up playing probably like 10 games and only won like 4 of them. That's how bad the lands were messing with us. We lost 4 of them just blatantly to lands. Alright, let's keep them off this. I think the opponent was maybe confused that we used that right away on a creature that doesn't necessarily seem that worthwhile. Yeah, as it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may put a land from your graveyard to the battlefield under your control. You can discard lands to gain life, draw a card, or give indestructible. Okay. We'll cycle. Oh, there's an Invoke Despair. That lets us get rid of the Fable here. Now what's better, just taking 6 and using Burn Down? Nah, I can't really afford that. We're gonna Invoke Despair. Unfortunately, I'm staring at this in our opponent's hand and thinking, well, that's going to be the worst thing for us. Rakdos and 3-color decks with Rakdos seems good in Standard. Well, the thing is we are just straight up Rakdos here. We have the Triomes because they help a domain card. Go burn down the house for the tokens. The reason why we're going for the tokens is because we can use these to block, and we'll get more mileage out of them this way than if we were to just use it for the 5 damage. Use this cut down. Point damage here. Alright, we will kick a discard spell at them. Deals 3 damage to them, and we make them discard 2 cards. I just want... Yes! They discarded the green card. This is the whole thing I was worried about. Now, if we can get this bombardment down, we might be able to take back over here. Right. Damage to face. Block. Finish off the Harvester. Go for the Bombardment. I'm risking the opponent having drawn another one of those rings cards, but also more worried about them. No, they top-decked a Terra Sunder! Oh, the opponent is so lucky on that. I thought I would be able to get the punish because, you know, we just made them discard their hand. Alright, let's big score the lands. See if we might be able to survive here, but... Soul Transfer... Get rid of the token. Opponent's turn. I get rid of the token just because it makes it sound like they'd have a guaranteed land for that. But we're dead if they top deck a land. Might have been a reason to like duress one of those. The one card we knew. Yep. Alright. They get it. But we're in a best of 3, so that is not the end of this. Alright. Rotten Reunions in the deck. Parasitic Grasp into the deck. Anything else? Okay, we know the opponent runs that card that actually answers us, so another Duress in. I think I'll take out one Burn Down. Go down one Lightning Strike. Craft Material doesn't seem terrible against them. They run a fair bit of enchantments. Guess we'll go down one more Lightning Strike. I think, like, what's the last card we go down here? There are a lot of early creatures, but I think we'll take a cut down out. Oh, did I remember putting in the last Flameless Bolt? I think I forgot to. Oh well. Because I run 2 main board and have a third one in the side deck. Now we'll be in trouble if the opponent actually does have something to eat our graveyard with. And considering how many people are using their graveyards right now, I think one of the things that's actually a pretty good idea is just run the vehicle that allows you to eat graveyards. We have Rotten Reunion to eat graveyards, but the car is at least more consistent. Alright, this seems keepable. Only drawback with Drag to the Bottom, it does require having the actual land types in play for it. Take a peek. Parasunder, gonna take that. Giant starts with 4, but doesn't... Not gonna be an issue, because we can just burn down the house and get rid of it. Old Rutstein gives the opponent lots of value here, especially considering they can now get that land back. Alright, they go for Giant.
Lighted everything with fire. Taught them everything they know.
Burn it down.
You win some, you lose some.
Wind Grace for our opponent. They get the land. Gonna use Soul Transference to exile it. Okay, nothing they can do with the black red. I was just checking to see like what they had option wise. So exile you. I would love to exile the underdog here, but this is just such a large body, I have to get rid of it.
I remember my first fight. Good thing it wasn't against. The experience will do you good.
What did we get off the top? A lightning strike. Not what we're hoping for. Let's give up drag to the bottom. Exile Jaya.
In another lifetime, you be ashes.
We have enough mana that if we actually draw our Bombardment now, that we can actually get an immediate trigger. I think one of those things about the Bombardment decks, we need to have blue in the deck just to get that, you know, extra draw value on some of the cards. I think draw value over discard is probably more important. Alright, we're gonna hold and pass. Alright, they go for the Blitz. Me 8, 9. Can't afford to take that much. We're planning on, if they put it to the board, lightning striking it anyway, so that way if we hit a sweeper, we'd be able to get them all off the board. Right. This actually does allow you to eat Graveyard, so I can't remember if it lets you eat the opponents. From a graveyard. Okay, yeah, so you can eat from your opponent's graveyard with this. Alright, cycle. We get the Flame Bless here, but the opponent's turn, we're going to take a lot of damage. Cruelty of Gix lets them read ahead to revive something from their graveyard. Which card do they go for? Do they go for Jaya back to the board, or do they go for... Oh, they went for the Tutor first. Well, in all honesty, I never really cared to try to do the Magma Opus variant. Don't get me wrong, I think Magma Opus is an amazing card. There we go. Bombardment. Dureshu, please don't have the removal spell for my Bombardment. Opponent. Alright, let's go ahead and grab the lounge here. Let's wait if we hit the domain spell. Nope. Yeah, nice game. Oh, the opponent had so much enchantment hate. We weren't going to win against them, unfortunately. No, mulligan. Oh, this is definitely a mulligan. Alright, we'll keep this one. I'm going to go with all the discard cards. Surprise! It's another deck with black. Get rid of Paragon. Because if we don't get rid of Paragon, they can just replay that anyways. Discard 2. My opponents just realized that we're not likely to have many creatures, so they give up their removal. Land pass. We actually have this as a -5/-5 because of our land base, because of how domain works. So it is basically an improved version of language to us. Land pass. I'm gonna cycle this lounge. I didn't cycle it originally because I was worried I wasn't going to find a spell to interact with my opponent. Like, I wouldn't have enough mana to... Alright, we actually do get the mana for the Bombardment. We're gonna risk Bombardment to the board. If the opponent has an answer to it, we are gonna get punished hard. If they don't, though... well, we get to hurt their hand. Alright, Henrika to the board will... if they immediately transform, it would become a 5 toughness at most. But they're going for as much draw value as they can. I should have held that land, actually. Extract the Truth. Let's look at their hand. I'd rather not deal with the Angel. This is actually a really good card. Because even if you're only in just like white splash black or white splash red, you're still looking at the fact that it just gives you... deals 2 damage, gives you 2 life. They got another Paragon off the top of their deck. We just have to draw spells. Any spell should help us out here. One of the things the opponent should do is they should just play a Meat Hook X0. That way, if we end up hitting Extract the Truth off the top of our deck, well, I guess it wouldn't matter. But it makes that way we can't use Extract the Truth to make them sacrifice an enchantment to matter. I guess they can top deck a Spirit Companion to solve that issue. Gotta be kidding me. But this is why I think you need a lot of draw in a Bombardment deck. I went with the idea of having cards that you can replay from Graveyard from the side deck, like Rotten Reunion, instead of the Artifact, because it helps us trigger the card. The Meat Hook doesn't help us trigger, but when they have the Meat Hook, it's kind of one of the things we want it on our side too. The opponent's big spells here. So I don't think Cut Down is going to be useful. Okay, we just want just the Grasps. So I think I need to maybe include like more Invoke Despair or something, but there's definitely cards that need to be adjusted to make this work better. Let's go down Lightning Strikes and try it. Oh, actually, up a strike, down the Grasp. Try it like that, I think. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think Grixis is the way you really probably should do this. It's either like you go red, blue, white, or you go Grixis. Just straight red, black doesn't feel like you get the value you're hoping for. We'll keep this. Let's extract some truth. Actually get rid of Spirit Companion. Next turn we'll use Duress, get rid of the other enchantment. So, opponent keeps in Infernal Grasp and Voltage Surge. Those are completely dead to them in this matchup. They're nothing but discard fodder. Let's soul transfer this right now. It helps us preserve our life total. And since it's exiled, we don't have to worry about it coming back. I am worried about this being in the graveyard because if they're like our variant of the deck, they could just still loop it for card draw with the 3-drop. Maybe not loop is the correct word, but they could still replay it from the graveyard. Let's go ahead and fire off the Invoke Despair right now. Get ourselves some card draw. Hopefully we can get our 6th land for the Bombardment. Oh, there we go. Now the question is... Never mind. Question's nothing.
Feel like home. And I'll do this is my city. And I'm going to protect it.
Okay, so... Gonna use the big score. No, I take it back, We're just gonna Bombardment. Get it on the board. Risk the opponent having some side deck answer to it. Because I don't think they have a main board. And we're just gonna go ahead and burn down the house, that way we can deal with the board state. Let's burn it down. We get the Duress. Take a look at their hand. Alright, we may as well make them discard Massacre. And this is one of those things, if you're playing against a Bombardment deck, you may as well put this on the board as an X0, so that way when I destroy all your things, you're at least draining me life. Let's discard. We have Lightning Strike we can play during their turn. I extract the truth. Please sacrifice your enchantment and duress the burn spell out of your hand. And we'll meat hook you X1. Gonna hold the land in the hand just in case I end up hitting big score. I'll be honest though, I did screw up. I should have put a pause on the opponent's upkeep. Because we had both of those discard spells. Yep, and there they go. So, with both of those cards under Bombardment here, Duress and Extract the Truth, I can make it so that way if I can play an instant spell, no matter what they draw, they won't be allowed to play it unless it's an instant speed spell, because I'm just going to rip it right from their hand. Alright. Well, we just run it back. Hmm. I should not keep this. No. We'll keep this one. Because we got the Flame Blessed, which is actually a great removal spell against most of the cards we've seen from them. Then we have Extract the Truth, so we can potentially keep them off their turn 3 play. Alright, let's take a look. We take Fable. That probably is the best option. Because it puts him completely on top deck mode for lands. Unfortunately, for us, they prove that they can still hit those lands. Otherwise, our best pick would have been to get rid of Edgar. Let's see, so if the opponent goes land, play 4-drop, we can use Sabotage, get rid of the other 2. Flame Blast before Edgar hits board. That's a great draw. Alright, opponent's in top deck mode. We can have Soul Transfer, get rid of the Edgar. Fable's a good draw for them. Goodbye, Edgar. Now attack, no more lands. Next, like 3 turns, non-land cards. Wow, opponent just draws pure gas.
Light your way on these dark streets. Show 'em what you've got.
Alright. What's the big ultimate on that? Oh, shoot. Why did I have to draw more land?
May your peace last.
This is another reason why it's nice having draw spells, is because when you get into you've drawn a lot of lands, you can potentially play your draw spell and continue playing other spells. Alright, but it's just gonna blitz the underdog. And I don't fault them for doing that, because it allows them to get card draw, get the damage through now. Because if we draw a sweeper, let's see, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, no, they have lethal, so. I got, what, 4 cards, and that was it? I gotta play 4 spells? Yeah. There was my 4 spells. Oh, what are you supposed to do with that? So this seems pretty keepable. We got all of our early interactions. The only drawback is we have tap land to play with, but I think we can handle that. Oh. I think I'll still play with the tap land first. Blood Tithe Harvester for our opponent. I think I still want to take a look at their hand more, because if they have Fable, I just want to get rid of it. You know, I don't want to deal with the Meat Hook, because a Meat Hook X0 just sitting on the board is an issue. Let's get you out of here. gain another life. And it'll be the opponent's turn. Okay, so they discard Lily. Kinda glad that they discarded Lily. What do you synth out? You synth into a synth. So, whatever this card is going to be lost forever. Happen to be a land. They have enough power on the board, I want to just drag this. -3/-3 from the drag worked out at a good time. Oh, that's good for us. Let's start off going for the big score. We'll discard the mountain. Alright, we'll pass. We'll actually go ahead and take the 2. I don't plan on cutting it down. So that way we can go Bombardment and be able to get cards back. I think, though, it would probably be better for us if we Bombardment, go for the cut down during our opponent turn? No. Do it now. I don't want them to sacrifice and get the extra drain against us with braids. We'll sacrifice the artifact. Bombardment to board, and next turn we can Lightning Strike Braids. I have the land advantage here, opponent. I can do that. Let's actually start off with the big score. Track the truth. Let's take a look at your hand, opponent. What do you have? Nothing. Put a stop at the start of their turn. That way I can use Lightning Strike to get rid of the braids. But also so that way we can check whatever their new card is. And if it's a card we can interact with the Extract Truth, we force them to discard it. End turn. They draw. Before they move to the main phase, because it's still in draw phase, go for the kill on braids. Activate big score. Discard draw. Activate Extract Truth. Let's take a look at their hand. Takanuma. So they can discard that to add a creature back to their hand. Alright. It looks like they're going to discard it right away. Probably adding braids back to hand. Oh no, they go for Lily. Well, shame for you, opponent. Because I'll just burn down the house here. Discard draw. Extract the truth. And make you discard that Lily you added to your hand. Yeah, so if in your... Oh, whoops, I forgot to put the stop there. Well, I got punished, but not really. And that's enough to make the opponent scoop it up. Alright. See, that's the whole goal of our deck here, is to try to lock down the opponent from being able to draw anymore. And if we're going to get back a card from Takanuma from discarding, just wait until the end step. That way, I would have less chances to interact. The fact that we managed to get the instant speed spell off of Burn Down for lightning striking was just pure luck. Like, the cut down that we had that was instant speed, we had no interaction, so them pulling that early to their hand meant we had all types of advantage. I just run it back. I don't think there's anything I need to bring inside deck-wise against this opponent. I don't actually think this Braids is actually that strong of a card. It works with the black-red sacrifice artifact deck because it gives them a sacrifice outlet besides just the anvil. But it's kind of still eh. I mean, it's a 3-drop 3/3. It has the potential of draining your opponent, but since your opponent always has the opportunity to potentially sacrifice to deny you the life and draw, it's not as amazing as I would think. It's just, here, let me put it this way. It's more niche of a card that you have to be in a very specific deck to make use of. It's not like a Shouldred, which can go into most any black deck. Alright. On the open, we'll keep it. Got ourselves a decent hand for interact with the opponent. Only drawback to the Grasp is it does require us to cleave it to hit most of their targets. Alright, opponent's gonna pilfer, make us discard. What do they attack here? Alright, they don't want the duress where we get to take a look and take a specific card. Play the Xander's Lounge, since we can't go duress and maybe hold up Flame Bless against a certain spell. Alright, so that is more than likely why they didn't want us duressing them. Right. Opponent, please discard 2 cards. Alright, so they gave up the Braids. Probably because they saw we still had 2 Lightning Strikes and a Grasp. Smelter's pretty good for the opponent. Especially considering we haven't drawn more lands, so we don't have the ability to play a Sweeper if we draw it. Let's pass it to the opponent. Because we play all these cards except for Sabotage and Instant Speed. Let's go ahead and kill the Smelter, gain 3 life. Get rid of the Reflections. And pass. Oh, there's that Shouldred that I was talking about. That might have been a tasty snap, because I might have wanted to double Lightning Strike that. Yeah, that was a hasty snap. I think we're just dead here, unfortunately. Shouldred is a beast of a card. And we got stuck on... Ooh, we do actually hit double Lightning Strike here. Well, we're dead to most anything from our opponent, but let's see what they have. If they drop another Shouldred, we just die from drawing. They play an Epicure to kill us. Oh, we're not dead. We'll discard Sabotage. Let's hit them with the Duress, see what they're holding in hand. 2 lands, awesome. And we go for the cut down, because if we don't, we die. Blood Tithe we can hit with the Soul Transfer. So I actually would like to draw land, just that way we can potentially play a sweeper. Maybe they signed out all the removal. Maybe we get away with this. No! They top deck the Oni Cult Anvil, which does 1 point of damage. Well done, opponent. Well done. Well done. What do they have priority with that we're not dead yet? Oh, because Synthesizer still has to resolve. But why is it hanging like this? Am I lagging again? Okay, there we go. The game was just stalled out there. That... We were so close! Goldred! I forgot about that fact the opponent could be playing that. Maybe we do some adjustments. Let's actually take the Sabotage out. Let's go... Another Grasp and 1 Meat Hook. And go up. One Infernal Grasp, down 1 Lightning Strike. We'll do it like that. Alright, we'll keep it. Okay, so Pumpkin gets an Epic here. We'll just go extract some truth from them. Goodbye, Lily. They top deck an Anvil. Okay, opponent doesn't use the Anvil right away. That surprises me. What did land pass? Truthfully, I thought they'd sacrifice this immediately to get the 1/1, do point of damage. Right? Opponent probably realized that they made a mistake on their ordering. Yeah, I was kind of wondering, like, is the opponent ever going to bring out the Harvester, or are we going to just go with the Death of a Thousand Cuts from the Epic here? I will just use Drag here. We can hit 1 more black source for this Invoke Despair. Would be nice. Let's drag. One's got priority just because of the blood token. No! They pilfer away our Invoke. And that was a top deck pilfer. Because we knew their hand from the last time we took a look at it. Alright, let's go ahead and... bolt this right now. Alright, Putting cycles their land. Alright, they're all on the board here. Just need a land. Let's take a look at what that is. Yes, discard. Thank you. Again, opponent making mistakes for the cycling. If you have a land you're going to plan on cycling, but are going to be tapping yourself out, do it at your opponent's end step. Can we draw a land, please? Why? If I had drawn a land, I could have been able to punish the opponent with Burn Down since they just used up their last artifact. If they play Shouldered, we just lose, I think. Because we get brought down too low. Let's see, we go down to 2 life. That means if they hit like another Anvil, we die. If they hit an Epicure, we're dead. I'm trying to think, like, what could they drop that doesn't just say we're dead? What could that random be? Alright, we finally hit that land. We get to burn it down. They're still holding it. We are still missing land drops for Bombardment. Alright, Harvester for our opponent. We'll cut that down. Opponent's going with the discard plan. Cut it down now. Lightning Strike it now. We're forcing them to use the Anvil to just point us for 1. But they no longer get the token because it already triggered to give them the token. Ah! Need the land. Synthesizer's a great draw for our opponent. And they hit a Sorin off of it. Oh, that's so good for them. Oh, they plus?
Nothing on Innistrad is free.
Ooh, we hit the land. What is the correct play here? Is it play Bombardment or is it play Soul Transfer? I think it's Bombardment. Because we give our opponent basically another draw chance for the Shouldered, because they hit Shouldered, we're just dead, because Anvil just eats the Synthesizer and deals a point of damage to us. And Shouldered kills us on our draw. This is just how close this game is. Alright, so we have so many cards in our graveyard that actually deal with Harvester on board. Opponent, though, doing things in the wrong order again. If you're going to sacrifice that, you do that before you play your card, just in case you want to play the cards you exile.
My ways are not.
And again, you should be playing the exiled land instead of land from hand, because you have blood tokens to take advantage of. Alright, we go for... oh wait. Go for Soul Transfer. Unfortunate. I mean, this is good, but we only get one card drawn. Soul Transfer fizzles, is why it's unfortunate. And we draw bad. I thought for a second, yeah, it would have been better if we used the big score. Because we could have... What I should have done is what I should have done. Should have big scored. Discarded Bombardment. Just accept we only have the one Bombardment. And we would have been able to play the Soul Transfer afterwards with the amount of mana we had open. So... Now, considering our life total was 3, the opponent had the ability to attack in with the token, use Oni Cult, bring us down to 1, so we'd be dead to just Oni Cult sacrificing to itself. Unless we manage to use the big score that we got off the big score and dig in something else. And, you know, go with the Bombardment trigger, also potentially giving us an answer during their turn. It's a lot of what-ifs, but that was the correct decision. I should have big scored away the Bombardment. Tried taking this in the best of 3, and unfortunately, our biggest problem is there's a lot of just card draw mechanics and graveyard recursion right now in Standard that just attacking the hand doesn't feel strong enough. And I mean, we did have one game where we were able to have a person locked under duress and extract the truth under a Bombardment, but that was just one game. I think what we need to do is just include ourselves just more of a draw package and just control that way. And to do that, I think it'd probably be better maybe go Grixis with the deck, and also maybe adjust to have actually more Invoke Despair, less on the burn down control path. But that's just some, you know, insight I've been getting on what's the current meta, at least. A lot of the meta is play Black Recursion, and this doesn't fight against Black Recursion very well. Well, when the meta shifts, who knows, this deck might become a thing again, but I don't think it's strong enough at the moment.
Thank you for watching the video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more content. If you'd like to join me while I stream, you can find me on Twitch, the link below. I hope to see you again in the next video, and have a nice one.